Welcome back, everybody. Our first guest tonight is an Emmy-nominated actor you know from shows such as Party Down, Parks and Recreation, and Loot. He returns for the second season of the critically acclaimed series Severance. New episodes premiere Fridays on Apple TV+. Let's take a look.
I gotta get her out of here. Right? I mean, if she's my wife.
Right, of course. I mean, assuming she's still here. Though technically, strictly speaking, she's not your wife. Pretty sure you're out about the ring.
Sure. Except, you know, we're the same-ish person. So it's mushy.
It's mushy? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's mushy?
Kelly.
We're not the same, actually.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Adam Scott, everybody. You handed me a penny. Where
I just
did you
handed
find
you a
this?
penny. I can't tell you where I found that. But I agree that you need to leave him alone.
All right. So his message is getting through to you.
Yes.
I imagine people have not been leaving you alone the last 3 years because there's a long gap between season 1 and season 2 of Severance. And I feel like people both wanted more episodes.
Yeah.
But they also wanted answers because it was such a wonderful cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And, you know, there were really high expectations. And the reviews, a line that I keep seeing is it was worth the wait. That just must be so... such a relief for everybody involved.
It is. I mean, we've been in a state of relief for a while because when we were making the show originally, we were like, this is so weird. We really don't know if anyone will like this or get it or anything. But we were having a blast, but you just never know. So just the fact that here we are a few years later and people are kind of waiting and clamoring for another season is really just all, just wonderful.
You, one of the reasons there was a large gap was the writer's strike.
Yeah.
And you did something very sweet to help raise money for your crew. You did sort of like, you would raise money dog walking.
Yeah, yeah.
So, now how did it come about that you would dog walk?
Well, first of all, this is because I really don't have any skills.
Yeah.
People were
like if they come to you for a charity thing and they're like, what can you do?
right.
Yeah.
Like people were giving out tennis lessons, and so I offered to walk a dog, which I did. And one of these women got it as a surprise for the other, which was very sweet. But when I showed up for the surprise, first of all, the dog is huge, and he ran out and tackled me.
Yeah.
And I was on the ground.
I like that you have no skills, and then you're like, I don't do them that big.
No, I can't. I cannot handle dogs, but I can walk them. But the woman who was surprised, for me, I love walking my dog, but part of what I love about it is the solitude and the time that I get
100%.
to myself and listen to podcasts or whatever. And I showed up, and I could tell I was maybe interrupting her routine. She was about to go out and walk her dog and have some nice time to herself, and here's this vaguely recognizable stranger on her doorstep.
And you're like, you can go spend more time with your husband and kids.
Right. That's right. I'm gonna take your dog out. So I actually walked the dog with them, and
That's very nice.
It was pleasant.
That's very nice for you to do that. Now, this is not an action show per se, but you did injure yourself on this year of Severance.
Yeah, I got a concussion at one point. Well, that's the thing is I can't tell you how the concussion happened, but I got it. Yeah. It happened.
And no one on set will share with you what went down?
No, no one. I have no idea. I'm just told there's a concussion.
It's very much like Severance.
That's right.
That everyone's like, it's not important.
I forgot everything up until that point. But then, like a little while later, I got this nosebleed that would not stop.
Okay.
Like no matter what we did, we could not get my nose to stop bleeding. It was disgusting and frustrating, but also when there's an actor who has a nose that will not stop bleeding, obviously it's cocaine. Right?
Yeah.
We all know this.
Yeah. You got your concussion because you didn't pay your drug dealer.
That's right. That's right.
He banged your head into
That's
the
right.
wall. Yeah.
So I was just sort of overcompensating and making way too many cocaine jokes, trying to reassure everyone that it wasn't cocaine. But for sure, by the end of the day, everyone thought it was cocaine.
But you actually had to go to a doctor for a bloody nose.
Yeah, we had to go because it would not stop. We went to an ER upstate New York, and I had to get the inside of my nose cauterized.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
It was. Ben Stiller took this picture. He was in the corner just taking pictures. Yeah, I asked the doctor, I was like, is this gonna hurt? And he's like, well, yes, but also, also the more challenging aspect of this will be the extreme feeling of pepper being shoved up your nose. So it did hurt, but then also it did feel like there was just like a pound of pepper. And he's like, don't sneeze. You can't sneeze. So that's what I was going through in this photo. Yeah, it was super
Did
fun.
you ever, were you like, just for the medical community, if you want me not to sneeze, can you make it not feel like pepper?
Yeah. Powdered sugar or cocaine.
There's a the opening shot this year is a fantastic running scene that I sort of technically cannot figure out how you did.
Yeah.
But you're running for a very long time, and when I think about how many takes on top of, if I ran just how long you did in the real time of the show, like it seems exhausting, but you of course had to run so much more than that.
Yeah, and it all started because we were trying to figure out how to kick the season off, and Ben just asked me, like, what would you do if you were in this situation? And I just said, well, if I was in the situation that the end of last season, just directly into this one, I would just start running, trying to find Miss Casey, who was I was talking about at the end of season 1. And so he started constructing this sequence of running just to sort of mirror the opening walk I took in season 1 in a way. And it ended up, piecing it together, ended up taking about 5.5 months of all these different pieces of me running. And so over this whole period of time, I knew more running was coming whenever a PA would come up and ask me which color Gatorade I like the most. I was like, oh, okay, more running. And so, but eventually we got it all. But it was a lot of running.
It's amazing, obviously worth it. It's an incredible piece of cinematography. Did you ever wish that when Ben asked that question, you had said, I would have just sat and looked at my phone?
I would have, yeah. I would have slept.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to open season 2 with me just sleeping.
A nap.
This is also an incredible thing you did. You guys did an installation, I guess, at Grand Central, where you guys were sitting in giant glass cases.
Yeah.
While commuters just could stand and watch while you were working on your Lumen computers.
Yeah.
And they couldn't hear you, right? Like, it was a soundproof?
It was by far the best kind of improvisation where the audience cannot hear a word you're saying.
Yeah.
So it looks like everything you're saying is fantastic. It was so fun, and we just had a blast. We had our actual computer terminals there so we could refine numbers like we do on the show, although within the first 5 minutes, Britt's computer broke. It was my fault. I was like futzing with it. It broke. 5 minutes later, Zach Cherry's computer broke. Then Patricia Arquette came in as Cobell. It was really fun because the whole crowd of people at Grand Central, when Patricia and Tramel Tillman came in, the bad guys on the show, the whole place got silent. Like, people were scared of them. But they came in.
Grand Central, where like scary people walking around all the time.
Everyone's scary at Grand Central. She came in and she's like, what's going on with these computers? And she got under the desk, and then all of them were broken within 30 seconds. So by the end, we were just like throwing paper airplanes.
I do. By the way, I love that your prop department is like, this what happens when it's just actors.
That's right.
Everything breaks
Can't do anything
immediately.
That's right.
I'm really happy it's back. I'm really happy for all of you.
man.
I do want to say real quickly, because it's still happening, I feel we got everything going on in the world. Our attention has been pulled away from the LA wildfires.
Yeah.
How are you and your family doing?
My mother and father-in-law lost their home, like many, many others. It's a really, really hard time out there. So anything anyone can do to help, there's a lot of people in need.
Well, again, it's always wonderful to see you, and thank you so much for making the time. And we do hope you and your family stay safe. Adam Scott, everybody. New episodes of Severance premiere Fridays on Apple TV+. We'll be right back with Julia Fox.